Hello everybody, it's Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 828, 1 and 2. And our cover story, the Dex of the World 500 Million Man Berry Man arc, is showing us Fishman Island, where we see Fukaboshi and Shirahoshi watching some kids with hero hats. You know, I have to say one thing here, like, the little girl on the left there, I thought she looked like Nami. Then I take a closer look and I'm realizing, oh, but more than the fish man. But then I'm looking closer and I'm like, oh, she has 4 arms.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that. And then she
Yeah.
has the web thing on her hands too.
Yeah. In fact, actually, quick little detour here. That's actually something that makes people think that Jack from before is a half fish man. Because he does, as far as we know, he does not have webbed fingers.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if we brought that up at the time or not.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why no one seems to know about him,
Yeah.
or at least mention him in Fishman Island, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a big deal.
Anyway.
Especially in the past too, when you had a fish tiger flashback, you think that he'd be there, but I guess he was raised somewhere else, meaning that raises the chances of him being a half fisherman.
Yeah, and plus there's like fishmen all over the place, not just Fishman Island. Like
Yeah.
here, for example.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
but usually don't they at least originate from Fishman Island?
I mean, it depends if somebody immigrated or not, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because
that's where most people are.
Jack seems kind of older, so that's why you think
Yeah.
he would at least something be mentioned somehow. So I mean, that just shows that he probably was a half or raised somewhere else, maybe like him being half fisherman.
Yep. Anyway,
So-
digressing aside, we're back on Cacao Island, Chocolate Town, and everyone's like shocked that just as indeed, this girl pudding is Sanji's fiance. Also, I love Carrot in the background here. It's like he's just munching. Like, wait, what'd you say? I wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah, I mean to be fair, she's not like she's invested in any of these plot lines, right?
Yeah, she's just having fun here. It's like one thing I kind of pointed out here is like with the One Piece podcast episode on this, like last week's chapter I should say, is they were wondering how minks would react to chocolate. Apparently, cat's fine.
Oh, why would they
Well,
have a bad
most animals can't digest chocolate.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. Anyways,
well, most animals can't talk, so who knows?
yeah, but at the same time, the minks do have animal instincts,
Yeah.
animal traits. But in any case, they're all realizing that yes, this is Pudding, and Pudding is realizing you're Sanji's crewmate. Now that I mentioned that, I've seen your face. You're Straw Hat Luffy.
Yeah, by the way, I just like to mention something too. So you know how in the cover page they had people like having the Straw Hats, like to because they like idolize Luffy.
Yeah.
You think that they would notice that you think that it wasn't Luffy that would have made that Straw Hat like famous? Because didn't Shanks have that for a while, and didn't Gold Roger have that?
Yeah, but at the same time, it looks like they never got identified with the hat. Luffy
Yeah,
does.
did they like not wear it, or did they? I guess they had something
Maybe
else.
not. Maybe by the time they made it big, like we've seen Roger wearing a nice swanky pirate hat before.
Yeah, but
So
then
maybe
but
he
Shanks.
traded up.
Yeah, but Shanks had it on until he gave it to Luffy, and by then he made a big name for himself.
Yeah.
So
We don't know if
I
he was
don't know.
emperor at the time or not, but he definitely was a major pirate.
Well, he was at his most powerful at that time. That's definite.
Yeah.
So maybe he had something. Maybe the red hair was just too like because that's what he's known by. So maybe the red hair was just like too like noticeable
And-
compared to the hat.
When you think about it, I don't think we've ever seen a character with that same type of red hair anywhere else that I can think of offhand. At least nobody prominent.
I wouldn't remember. So especially in manga when there's no color.
Right.
So,
But at the same time, I watched enough of the anime too.
yeah. Well, you know my history with the anime.
Yeah.
It's like jumping around.
Yeah, but at the same time, like there's nothing I can think of on here.
Yeah.
So at this point, everybody's still kind of reacting to it. Like Pudding is wondering how the Straws even got past the inspection line since they aren't subordinate to Big Mom. And why are you even here? If they find you, they'll kill you. You're inside Mama's territory, and Mama's as scary as they come. That's right. You're pirates. You are all scary pirates too. And she's all freaking out.
And Nami's trying to calm her down, and then Penner's just like, Luffy, what shall I do with this woman? And he has to like,
What did I just say?
it's a sword by her neck, It's just funny. It's just funny.
Like I said, Pedro's the pragmatic type. It seems.
Well, yeah, but he seems one of those battle-hardened warrior type of situations.
Yep.
Anyway, so with then they kind of like calm down. They discuss about Sanji. He's like, okay, you're here to take back Sanji. Well, Big Mom is stubborn. All her children know her, and she uses marriage to strengthen the crew, which we know about that. And then how that apparently this is all arranged marriages, and that they don't have
Real quick, this is where we get first mention of a major thing here that we've been theorizing about for a long time.
Yeah. I'll get there. So, and then how the children don't have any freedom. It's really it's kind of like a Middle Ages. How arranged marriage is a big thing. Not even just Middle Ages, like even later than that too. And
like at least Renaissance era, I think.
Yeah, and in some countries still do that.
And even among among the affluent or the royal.
Yeah, and then she says one thing, and she says that one of her dearly beloved sisters left at home in search of a free, independent love, a Judy in search of a groom, and then Nami's like, huh.
No, little minor thing. I do wonder if in the Japanese Raws, because I have not seen these here, if she's saying something like "one-sama," because of how polite that sounds.
Yeah, probably. I mean, she's one of those. She seems a very polite person. Yeah. But then, and we all know who she's talking about. Come on.
Yeah. And at this point, we also learn. Brooke kind of asked the question that we've also wondered here. Like, they were told that Pudding is Big Mom's 35th daughter, unless you really have 35. Pudding actually points out that she actually has 39 daughters and 46 sons.
The frick!
Yeah, and 43 husbands.
And so she has 85 siblings in all.
Yeah, there's 129 of them, not counting the siblings' own children.
Yeah. And so, yeah, obviously she's a biggie on marriage, so this actually does make her the big mom,
as Brooke exclaims right here.
Yeah. Yes. And then
also
the fact
big mom.
It's interesting that this is a family type of situation, that she actually is creating a family, sort of like Whitebeard, but this is actually by blood.
Yeah, it's like a strange little foil to Whitebeard there.
And they actually ask, and they ask her that she's met Sanji, and she actually has.
Once, yeah, they met once since he's arrived.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. I thought they didn't actually meet at all yet.
Well, it's been some time since their arrival, so I think they've had time to meet at least once.
Yeah. So.
And then on the next page, we have all these flowers in the background, which makes me wish we'd picked a better time to play Undertale.
She says shit that no woman will probably ever say about Sanji.
Well, he can be like that when he tries. Of course, there's nothing that will know.
But interestingly enough, he didn't try in this case.
Yeah, true. Like, his eyebrows were a bit too curly, but he was so kind, such a gentleman. His eyes were shaped like hearts, but he knows how much about making sweets. He even taught me a few things. We have the same hobbies, and he's so manly. I hear his legs are black or something, and he's super strong. I'm sure he'd protect me. And everyone's just like, Nami's like, just kind of sitting there in awe, like gaping.
Yeah. And then they ask her if are you actually in love with him? And he's like, "Ooh, I don't know." Well, and so it seems like she's one of those people who's kind of like Baby 5, where she's kind of easily, because she's so into the whole marriage thing that she kind of is. I think it's easy to kind of impress her.
Yeah. And also, I think I saw a couple of posts that suggest that ponder whether Pudding is kind of like editing her, like looking at things favorably.
Yeah, I mean that probably. I mean, she said they don't have any freedom. But she even say she does admire her sister for actually leaving and finding a groom of her own. And so Brooks is like, oh my gosh, she's so awesome. And then right next page, is like, we should keep this one bound and gagged.
Yeah.
But practically, for pragmatic reasons.
Real quick though, I do love Carrot right here. Like, guess what? I love Sanji too. Samesies.
Yeah. But yeah, so because let's be honest, she's the daughter. Let's be honest here. She's the daughter of Big Mom. We still don't know that much about her, and so there might be a chance that she'll blab about Stripes being here, and so Badger's just like, we should make sure that she doesn't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, we can't.
And he tells her.
Daughter.
Yeah, and he tells everyone why she would. She and this thing, Pudding's scared of her parents, and he said, well,
all the more reason.
Yeah, because if she's afraid of it, then she's more likely to fear punishment for not saying anything.
Yeah. But this
anyway,
point, Pudding takes a different tack. Like, she decides that she can still forget about Sanji. Like, everyone on Totland, they're all celebrating the wedding. Apparently so are the Vinsmokes, and Mama's ever so excited for the wedding cake. And she can't disobey Mama, so there's no way she could marry whoever she wanted, but so just kind of has a little thing on here, but and then along came Sanji. He was so wonderful, I thought he was out of one of my dreams. I was swept off my feet. But the truth is, he shared something with me in the end. And here, I really want to marry you, but I can't. I've got to return to my friends. And that just leaves everybody in shock.
Oh, even Luffy! Are you saying Sanji turned down woman?
it's like, but and it was like, I totally get where he's coming from. He obviously wants to continue his adventure, right?
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that Sanji, while being a pervert, it does care about the crew more than just getting.
And even for all his perversions, he's still like, he's not like mean to women or anything. Quite the opposite. But so it's like, it's not surprising that I regard him as a gentleman because he can be charming.
Yeah, I mean, I you know how I feel about this chivalry shit, but anyway, so basically, Pedro's like, well, Oh no, she says it. She's like, whatever Mama's orders may be, I can't imagine spending the rest of my life with someone who will regret the marriage this deeply, and I can never steal Sanji away from you guys. So here, follow this route. It's not only us siblings to the passage through Mama's territory by which you can hope to pass unnoticed. I hope this is not a trap, by the way.
I don't know, like it could go either way on it because she's so kind, but at the same time, I've seen posts wondering if this is too good to be true.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, she is Big Mom's daughter, but then again, Lola's a nice person too. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, but she does warn that Mama will never willingly let Sanji go.
But here's another thing. It's that also I want to point out that you can't judge people by their appearances. I want to say that.
Well, that's kind of our point here with pudding.
Yeah.
And she'll bring Sanji to them, but Nami's worried, like, won't Big Mom punish you? I'm still her daughter, so don't worry about me. Kind of good. You guys are going to be the ones deep in enemy territory.
Wait, you know who said something similar? Corazon about Doflamingo. I'm his brother. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. Of course, I think Corazon kind of had a better explanation of what Doffy was like.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the real relationship between Big Mom and Pudding, and so she's like, you guys share strong bonds, and I can't help but feel sad about how things turn out. But maybe the next person might turn out to be even more who Mama wants me to marry might turn out to be even more wonderful. Yeah, so she's still into that.
She's very optimistic. I'll give her that.
That's what maybe. Yeah, but so as of right now, Sanji's still on the wedding card. So who knows what's gonna happen next?
Yep. Anyway, that's when some guards appear at the door, like coming for Pudding. The others like quickly sneak out. It's like you guys like see broken them like I guess are those the remains of the cafe they ate?
Yeah, no, I think it's a new one.
Yeah, I mean at the very least you can tell Luffy's still eating stuff.
Yeah, I want to point out that Brooke asked the question, "Are you really daughters of one of the Yonko?" And I actually asked that question too because I think that's really important. Like it's obviously made for comedy, but I'm just like, yeah, she's still the daughter of a Yonko. You gotta be careful here. So they have their goodbyes, and I didn't think we'd meet her that quickly. And then
did they go and get themselves some supplies?
Yeah, and they gain the food and they go back, but Peckham's is not there.
He's gone off somewhere, or at least disappeared somewhere.
And he has a message. If I found them out.
Well, there's a message.
Oh, wait! Didn't that say?
Well, he said he left a message. We don't know if he's the one who left it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there's a message in the bathroom saying "turn back."
And Luffy does wonder if Peckham's wrote it, and Nami's like, "Who else could have?" But did someone trespass? Did Peckham's get kidnapped? It's maybe we are no longer flying under the radar. At any rate, it's a big problem. Like.
Remember that Big Mom knows that there. Maybe she sent someone to get Peckham's.
Yeah. Of course, Luffy is like, everyone, don't forget this message. We're gonna go on ahead. Things are finally getting interesting here.
Yeah. Telling me. On the New World Broccoli Island. Broccoli. I did actually, because I have to say that out loud to really know that pun.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Of course, they would hate broccoli. I mean. Yeah. I didn't notice the broccoli actually being trees too.
Yeah, I guess we're in the food portion of the New World here.
Yeah.
The gourmet. Hey, we got the gourmet world. Go Toriko. Anyway, we see some people here with curly eyebrows just taking out soldiers.
Yeah. And they have to. They want to get out of this place from as fast as possible because
also,
they're
real quick. The first thing we see of one of these guys is he somehow pulls a trump, makes himself a wall, and makes someone else pay for it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
more like he makes a human shield or something, or someone.
Yeah.
Does he jump in front of him, or does he just like?
Yeah, the guy
or does he make him do it somehow?
It's one of his men, so I'm assuming so. Probably says really dedicated people, because remember they are royalty, so you can have that situation where they want to just serve their king or one of the princes. So basically, this guy says, like, you're gonna make me late. We need to get out of here as fast as possible because you're gonna make me late. You're gonna make me late for my little brother's wedding. So we all know who that is. Yep. I couldn't give two shits about your family, who the guy's crying about, or your war. and he says like, I can't believe this, or someone says, is it someone to
I
him?
think it's brother number 2.
Because so the other brother, right?
Yeah.
So it's done. I can't believe the sorry excuse for war lasted for over 2 years, and our compensation we received it, so they got paid. Okay, because this guy's number 1, and they actually have the number 2. The other guy is talking. So yeah, then they basically got the people said thank you because did we accept the help of the devil himself? No, it was God who helped us. So they're really happy that these guys ended the civil war for them, basically, and then everyone's celebrating. Long live the German 66, Germa, whatever you say it.
Yeah.
However you say it, and
I think one thing I noticed was probably like Jerma double sticks, as opposed to 66. But either way, it doesn't matter.
So basically everyone's cheering the name of their organization, and then the brothers talk to each other, and like, we should be able to reach whole cake in 2, or it's in 2 days.
With a day to spare.
Yeah, because the ceremony will take place in 3 days. So and then they're like, what about Sanji? He's already here because they're talking to someone.
Okay.
Someone else was saying that the ceremony would take place in 3 days. And then he's like, oh, how fun. And then number 1 says, I can't wait to see him. And then number 2 says, liar. So I'm assuming that at least the older brother is kind of not happy that maybe he never liked Sanji, or maybe he just wasn't happy that Sanji left them. I mean, who knows?
Or maybe regards him as a traitor or something like that.
Possibly. And then the guy talking on the phone says, see you the day after tomorrow, then.
Yep.
And then that's when the phone call ends. The tea party approaches. Those are the Germa, whatever. Gather. And the One Piece will be behind this too.
Yep. And that's the end of the chapter there. But this was, and we have a break next week, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, we also see like that's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that part.
And then we also had before I did mention, but we had a huge double page spread of the destruction that was caused.
Yep. On Broccoli Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could maybe Big Mom seems to be a candy person. I mean, I don't think she'll like broccoli. Maybe that's why this place destroyed.
She's all about sweets and desserts. It looks from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But saying that, we're seeing a lot of food-themed islands right here.
Well, it's a food-themed type of arc we have here.
Yeah, true enough. Whole Cake Island.
Yeah.
And we definitely have. We got like 2 more brothers. I wonder what colors they are in the old Sentai scheme here.
Well, what do we have left? I think. Well, first off, I think number 1 has to be red, right? I mean, we're gonna do a Sentai. The first one has to be red, right?
Yeah,
and
number 1 has to be red, maybe white.
Two is, oh yeah, because of the this red is too iconic to not be number. The white thing only happened like once. And then we have do we have blue? Because blue is usually 2.
Assuming that's not Sanji, who's always been associated with blue. I don't know. He could be number
Sanji's black.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's always been associated with the color blue in like different like crew themed things.
Yeah, black lady's just too obvious to skip over. And I think black is usually number 3.
Okay, I can see that. One of them might be yellow as well. Those
and is it? Reiju is 0, but I mean, the pink is always associated with the girl. And Yonji, what was Yonji? Is he yellow?
He was green. Yonji was green. Reiju was pink.
Green and black are actually I don't think are often together. Usually they number both. Either one or the other was 3, and 4 tends to be yellow. But so it could be the number 2 could be yellow or blue. But 1 should be red because if you don't do the Sentai thing, it has to be red.
That's true. Like you said, it's way too iconic to do otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, they only did that white thing once. I think. One of them.
Yep. So. And that's a lot of that. I think a lot of our discussion points we kind of handled during the chapter here. Like we kind of like digressed a few times during this, but. I do wonder which side footing is on here.
We didn't say one thing. Okay, at this point, the fact that at this point, even though they haven't said it outright, the sister, the sister they're referring to is Lola. I mean, it's everything. Every sign they've done this for like the past 3 chapters. Every sign's been pointing to it. Lola has a thing where she kept asking people to propose to her. She wants a groom.
Right.
She talked about how her mom was a big shot. I said big mom for a second. And it's in the fact that her mom was a big shot in the New World means that she had to be powerful, and Big Mom is powerful, obviously being one of the 4 emperors. So everything, and we had someone who looked like Lola, so she's probably one of the other sisters. I mean, we have just everything's pointing there.
Yeah, and I even guessed kind of a thing myself here, like that. When we learned that Big Mom like married off her children to create bonds with other pirates, it's like my thought was like Lola wanted to go out and find love on her own terms, and from what Pudding says, that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, and the fact that Nami was like, "What? What she? That reminds me of someone, type of thing." Like she had that facial expression, and so we know that Nami was friends with Lola, and that Lola was the one who gave her the Viva card for her mom. That's gonna come back into play, I hope. I mean, Lola herself will probably just stay at Water 7 because that's where the last where we saw her. But I think Plot Point will come back. And remember, Big Mom knows everything, right? So maybe she found out somewhere that well, actually, she does know everything. Shouldn't she know by now that the Straw Hats helped Lola? Or maybe because they did that.
Maybe not, because that was like Thriller Bark wasn't really publicized.
It was like hidden in the Florida triangle.
Florian.
The Florian triangle. I know what they were obviously referring to, of course. And so, but then again, but hey, but I know Bartholomew Kuma didn't have a hard time getting there. So I feel like if you're really powerful, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I feel like Big Mom being one of the four emperors has so much information. I mean, she found out that Luffy got here despite them being supposedly incognito. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way if she knew or didn't know, or didn't know. Didn't know. But that whether she knows now or not, she will probably know in the future, and that plot point will come back into play.
Yeah.
Man, that was set up really a long time ago.
That's Oda for you. There's a reason my personal name for Oda is Chekhov's Sniper.
I mean, the things are like that arc came right after the introduction of the four emperors themselves. Right. So he had to have been planning really, really early on.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't considered that point, but you're right. Like, we literally hear did we hear Big Mom's name? No, we just heard the four emperors. I don't think we heard about Big Mom herself until later, but that was still when we first heard about the four emperors. You're right.
Yeah. And I think even then, back then, the designs were not complete yet. Big Mom was kind of.
Actually, you could tell. No one cares about that. You keep going.
Yeah. The Big Mom was kind of. I mean, you could still say, oh, I mean, she's fat.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and she's smiling. You could say that's kind of her. Still not complete. Kaido was the one that looked completely different. Kaido was not anywhere what he like.
Yeah, he is now. At the very least, I doubt that if I do find the book while we're talking here, like that the designs weren't like all the way there, but still.
I have another question. So the first time we saw Big Mom, like actually see her, she was huge, right?
Pretty big size, and we didn't really get anyone to compare her to when we saw her here, so it could still be the case.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like when we saw her, she was with all of those teapots and everything that you see when you're on crack. Not that I would know. But she was a living LSD trip. Yeah, but she looked like she was normal sized compared to everyone there. So who knows, I also want to point out that, now that I think about it, maybe the three-eyed girl isn't actually Pudding, but maybe like the first daughter, Maybe that. Yeah, that's at the same
time, like, I wondered if we might be looking at look like I told you the story about how I like got that whole sorts of mix up last week. But
yeah.
I'm kind of thinking now that that is Pudding, just because one, we're seeing like her bangs are covering her forehead, so if there is a third eye, we're not in a position to see it. And the three-eyed girl had the slime.
Yeah, I was actually just remembered. Like, I remember. Like, I was about to say, like, in this chapter, we still don't see her third eye, and there is a slime, but of course there could be more than one. Who knows? Because remember, she can bring everything to life, so I wouldn't be surprised if she did more than once. But I mean, yeah, if that is the case, then that just raises her being maybe like a double agent, not double agent because she's still working Mom, but like maybe her betraying Luffy.
Right.
Through that map even more, because again, remember, that girl was very nonchalant about Big Mom eating someone and just declaring war on an entire country. So. Right. Or at least not a country, but crew.
Yeah. Because kid.
No. It was when Luffy was.
Luffy. Okay, because I remember they mentioned kid in relation to them. That's what I was thinking right there.
But yeah. So that is the thing.
Yep.
All right.
But in any case, that has been our review of One Piece, Chapter 828, 1 and 2. Go ahead, and if anyone wants to see the original silhouettes of the four emperors when they were first mentioned, that's Chapter 432. I found it while we were talking. And Big Mom, close to, but I don't know about it, because she just makes me think of Wanze. Remember the bug-eyed ramen guy? Kaido, maybe, but he definitely does look different. You're right about that.
The bug-eyed Robin guy? Who?
Robin. Remember when the guy Sanji fought on the sea train?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, exactly. That was exactly what the other guy she was reminding me of. I just didn't remember. I couldn't pinpoint where I saw him from. Yeah. But yeah, the cook basically.
Yep.
The chef, whatever.
Anyway, go ahead and take us away. Oh, sorry.
Alright. I was just saying, like the guy he used noodles through his nostril. He made noodles
Oh
through his
yeah,
nostril.
yeah,
That was disgusting. That was disgusting.
yeah. That was disgusting. And then I just remember because we got so many like lame puns. Like he creates an armor of ramen called the men's leisure suit. Then Sanji basically beats him pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, that's our review for this week. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.